Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and this is my weekly entertainment wrap-up for April 22nd through 28th. This week I read 4 books, I watched 2 shows, and I listened to 1 book. First this week I finished Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. This came out on Tuesday and I did a non-spoiler review where I gushed about it a couple of days after that, so if you haven't seen that already, go check it out. Instead of saying the same things again, I want to focus on something I missed because I filmed that video while I was waiting for my coffee to brew, so I obviously had a very short amount of time and missed something big. This book was hilarious. I laughed twice on the first page. Leah has a sarcastic wit about her that I can identify with and a fear of putting herself out there, which is incredibly relatable. Becky Albertalli captures what it's like to have a group of friends or even just one person that you can make silly jokes with. Leah related to different people with different types of humor. For example, she relates to one character by sharing embarrassing pre-puberty stories with his boyfriend, which are mostly just adorable. She related to another by matching his tendency to always call her by her surname by just throwing the same thing back at him. She feels no humor or goodwill towards Martin because of what he did to Simon last year. So anything that Martin does that could be considered some form of awkward adorable just isn't funny to her. In both of these views, I don't even mention the romance because I want everyone to experience that for themselves. Just know that I was very happy at the end of the book and wonder if other characters will get similar spin-offs. If you're a fan of comedic contemporary romance novels with characters you'll want to befriend, pick this one up. Next, I finished Confessions by Kene Minato. This book is split into a half-dozen different point-of-view chapters, all following the same characters before, during, and after the tragic death of a child. This story opens in second-person narrative where a teacher is telling her students why she is retiring, the child in question was hers, and hinting at who in the classroom was responsible for her child's death. From there we see how various characters interweave into what happened and how they react. This book is crafted in such a way that the reader is compelled to feel sympathy for the narrator of each section, even when we follow the assumed and then actual murderer. With the beginning of each new section, the writing implores you to figure out who you are now following, and puts you into their head. This is a chilling novel that makes you think twice about how your gut reacted to the revenge in the first section. This week I also read Tosh Hearts Tolstoy by Catherine Ormsby. This novel is about a high school student who co-writes and directs a web series with her best friend Jack. The web series reimagines and condenses Anna Karenina. One day a popular vlogger mentions their channel and they go from a few hundred subscribers to thousands overnight. Which brings more fans, but also foes. Helping out behind the scenes we also have Paul, Jack's brother, and Tosh's other best friend. Whereas he is supportive, Tosh's sister quits in the middle of the project so she can spend her last summer before college with friends. This novel captured the chaos of dealing with filming locations and talent, the feeling of being personally attacked when someone rips your work apart, and the flexible bonds of family and friendship. Tosh is also a heteroromantic asexual, which plays heavily into how she interacts with people. One thing I have to rant slightly about is the protagonist's name. As a reader, we only find out 3/4 of the way through the book that it's not pronounced Tash like Ash, and then not actually told how it's pronounced until much later. I'm sorry, but how are we supposed to assume this character's name is pronounced when she's second-generation American? How do you say this name where you are from? Let me know down in the comments below. The final physical book I read this week was The High School Life of a Fudanchi. This book was recommended to me by Matthew Sharapo, whose channel I will link down below. He's a bookseller who occasionally runs a series called Build Your Own Recs, where he asks people to leave a comment with what type of book they'd like to read, and then he finds something that fits the bill. I asked for a fandom read, and this is what I got, and his assessment is accurate. A Fudanchi is a male who is a fan of a genre of manga called BL, boy love. Basically, a Fudanchi nerds out about male-male romances in manga, and also when he happens to see them in person. BL is generally seen as a genre that is read primarily by women. Our protagonist is a straight male, and the act of purchasing a BL manga can be quite awkward, as he seems incredibly concerned with people thinking he's gay, not to mention that when he mentions BL on Twitter, people think he's a woman. The good thing about this comic, showing people can like whatever they want, and you can build friends around what you're passionate about. Here's what I didn't like. Early on, an assumed gay character is called a woman because he's a bottom. It was strange to have a manga that uplifts queer characters within the character's comic, then treats them poorly when he closes his book. The plot also seemed to be kind of all over the place. This week in Scandal, I watched the rest of the 6th season, and because I'm not one for spoilers, all I can really say is there are a lot of moving parts and crafty characters. And basically what I tweeted the other day, which was, the thing that impresses me the most about Scandal characters is they defy death while gravely injured, and I can barely open cold and flu packets when I feel a cold coming on. True story. It has been a very long road to this particular inauguration, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out in the next season. As for Survivor, someone got caught in a lie and was sent to the jury because of it. I suppose it is best to make a move when you know you're going to be on the bottom in a few votes, but it doesn't always work out. This week I listened to The Apocalypse of Elena Mendoza by Sean David Hutchinson. This book is about Elena, the project of a virgin birth, who finds herself with the ability to heal people, which starts an apocalypse. She's heard voices all her life and now they're telling her she needs to save the human race by healing the sick. But every time she uses these powers, seemingly random people disappear. She doesn't know if they're going to a good place or not and cannot control who goes. Understandably, she feels conflict about this. People call her a scam artist just like they accused her mother of lying when she said she hadn't had sex before Elena was born. Even when a doctor proved scientifically that Elena was the product of parthenogenesis, people still doubted her. And that has meant lots of bullying. Fortunately, Elena has a fantastic best friend, an occasionally helpful ex-boyfriend, and a crush on a girl she's still getting to know to keep her company. The narrator for this book had a beautifully sarcastic and downtrodden voice, working hard to convey how Elena slogs through this uniquely interesting existence. Voices for other characters were well crafted, and every time a new object starts talking to Elena, because that's how the voices talk to her, I believed it. The writing for those sections was particularly amusing. If you want a book with high stakes and indecision mixed with varying degrees of familial support and a best friend who was so darn cute that I just want him to be my friend, add this to your TBR. That's it for this week. If you've read, watched, or listened to any of these, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon for my monthly wrap-up. Bye!